All right, my friends, you're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk, and yes, I am your host, Todd Huff. You know what? You can email me, thoughts, opinions, feedback, adoration, and praise, todd@toddhuffshow.com, or you can join our online community, community.toddhuffshow.com, and as we begin the Truth Tour, you'll be able to see some things on that. It's really where we're going to post a lot of that sort of stuff. Not using the Nazis at Facebook or YouTube for those things. We'll stream the program there as long as I guess they allow us to do so, because I like to reach you where you are, no matter where you listen. But I also know who we're dealing with at those places, and candidly don't really want to put our eggs in those baskets. But it's good to be here, and I appreciate you tuning in today. So, Biden gave a speech yesterday, again, doubling. It's more than doubling down. We're now quadrupling down on Afghanistan being a massive success. We should applaud the Biden-Obama administration, I guess, 3.0. The Biden administration 1.0, however you want to look at this, and applaud them for much success, because that's what Biden did yesterday. Biden told us how wonderful and successful this mission was. Of course, any of us that are living here in reality saw something much, much, much different than that. We've seen an unmitigated disaster unfold. And I take no pleasure. I know some people take pleasure in, I don't know, the political failures of the quote-unquote other side. I don't take that. This is our country. These are real lives. This is the end of it's not the end. That's the other thing. It's not the end of this. This is not, I'm not saying that we're going to necessarily take up arms and go back into Afghanistan next week, although with some of the promises Biden made yesterday, I find myself wondering, what if the Taliban, hat tip to former President Barack Obama, but what if the Taliban do not follow through on their commitments to allowing safe passage, which the naivete of this. I mean, we know who we're dealing with. We are dealing with animals, folks that the belief that they have is not fit for a civilization. It is not. It is completely contradictory to the way that we were created to live. When you live under the Taliban's rule, it is the antithesis of how we are created to live. This is not the way it's supposed to work. This goes against human nature. Now, I'm not suggesting that we can stop every incident on planet Earth where someone is living under the oppression of a government. I mean, we just simply can't do that. It's not really our job. As you've heard said before, we're not the world's police. But we also created an environment or a vacuum that allowed this to happen. And as far as it is pertaining to the United States national interests, if we have a group running a country like the Taliban is now doing in Afghanistan, if we have that as the reality, we have seen what happens when that is the case. You go back to 2001 or before that, and you see that the Taliban was allowing free reign from al-Qaeda terrorists to train and prepare for a terrorist or a series of terrorist attacks. A war of terrorism could be launched from a place like that on the United States of America. We've seen this play out before. This is where this is headed. There is no ambiguity here. The Taliban has not suddenly come to realization of just how wrong they were. I mean, it's the same ideology. It's the same ideas. It's the same behavior. These are brutal, barbarian thugs that are now running Afghanistan. And we have had a role in allowing that to happen. Again, this is decisions made at the top. These are executions, or a series of a way that a plan has been executed or has been failed to be executed, even though Biden swears to us that this is exactly how this was supposed to go down. You believe this stuff? You believe that this is the way this was supposed to go down? You believe, I mean, if you're assuming success is the objective here, if you're starting with the assumption that the United States does not want the Taliban running the nation of Afghanistan, do you believe that this is the way this is supposed to work? That's what Biden's speech said yesterday. Told us how great this thing was. In fact, I'm going to play some of this today so that you can hear it. I'll comment. There's lots of stuff here. We're not going to obviously get to all of it, but we'll get to as much as we can. First and foremost, you need to know that Biden, this was something I saw reported before Biden's speech as I watched this thing. I watched it last night. I didn't watch it live. By the way, what time did this thing air? Because I think I watched it at like, oh boy, maybe 6:30 or 7, and it was had already happened. I know Biden must have an early bedtime. I'm not sure what time this thing actually aired, but I saw it recorded at, like I said, 6:37, something like that. Anyhow, the news made sure that everyone watching this thing knows that Biden fulfilled his promise to be out of there by August 31st. In fact, the last aircraft supposedly, I mean, who knows, took off exactly 1 minute before September 1st, 1 minute before midnight, September 1st, in Afghanistan. Down, this thing was planned, folks, down to the minute. That's how effective this thing was. That's what we're supposed to believe anyway. So that was the setup. Also, it's now being reported in some circles, although not very convincingly, that the equipment we left behind was left inoperable. You know, the tens of thousands of Humvees and countless numbers of M4s, rifles, handguns. I mean, just all sorts of equipment. We've seen, by the way, I know that the Black Hawk, at least one Black Hawk helicopter is not inoperable because I saw somebody hanging out of it by his neck being paraded around somewhere in Afghanistan, maybe Kabul. So we know that one was working. President Biden or your team or whoever's out there saying these things. So they again, they're kind of on the fence here as far as I'm concerned. They know that they cannot, with a straight face, act like this is no big deal. This is just an average day at the office for the Biden administration. They're on record now. I played yesterday Jonathan Karl of ABC News saying that last week, I think it was Thursday, that was the single worst day in the Biden administration's history, which is now a very grueling and painful 7.5 months. But so they're admitting it, but at the same time, there's still kind of hope here. Maybe we can, the dust will settle here, the troops will go out, we can stop maybe getting incessant reports on Afghanistan. Biden gave his speech. This is done, right? Just close the book. Don't mention Afghanistan again. Only thing Biden will want to tell you is that I fulfilled my promise to end a 20-year war. We met our deadline down to the minute, folks. 11:59 p.m. the last time that one of those U.S. aircraft took off from Afghanistan, flying people the hell out of there, because it has become, again, an unmitigated disaster because of the ideas implemented by the people now ruling the country. So here's how Biden wants you and me and the rest of Americans to think about this largely successful, just a fantastic mission. This is what he had to say about that. These are his opening remarks last night.
the United States ended 20 years of war in Afghanistan, the longest war in American history. We completed one of the biggest airlifts in history, with more than 120,000 people evacuated to safety. That number is more than double what most experts thought were possible. No nation has ever done anything like it in all of history. Only the United States had the capacity and the will and the ability to do it, and we did it today. The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals.
He almost got it right there. Bravely, he said. I think he was trying to say bravery. I don't know. But anyway, so this was massively successful. No nation. I mean, just think about this. It is crazy to me to say it like this, because it is a self-created problem, right? We have a bunch of people that are stuck behind Taliban lines because of decisions that we've made, the way that we executed our plan. But then we pat ourselves on the back. Good job, President Biden. We got those people out of there quicker than anyone's ever gotten anyone out before. So we set the fire, basically, or we at least gave them the tools to set the fire, along with almost an incalculable number of military assets. Here's what you need to fight, to kill people, to brutalize, to advance your evil ideology. Now, there you go. We're leaving. Crap, we've got people in there. They still, by the way, don't even know. Biden has to estimate how many people are still in Afghanistan that don't want to leave. U.S. citizens, a lot of folks, he said, that hold dual citizenship. I don't know, folks. I mean, I don't know what to believe here. I'm very skeptical of believing anything that comes out of Biden's mouth or this administration's mouth, because first and foremost, what they want you to believe more than anything else, more than the actual numbers, more than the rationale, more than even if they really believe this is a good thing to do or not. They don't look at this. I'm telling you, they don't look at it that way at all. It's how can we get this to politically give us an advantage? Or if it goes really bad, which they know that it has now, if it goes really badly, they can say to us, they can control the narrative and minimize the damage and then move on to the next thing. And by the way, while Afghanistan is an unmitigated disaster, as Afghanistan is a metaphorical and, in some sense, a real dumpster fire because of lots of factors, but we did play a role in this. As that's happening, we also have to know that there's things happening here. They're trying to get creative and somehow get the so-called For the People Act passed through Congress and signed into law, basically circumventing the rights of states to oversee their own elections, which the Constitution clearly calls for. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but I still want to focus on Afghanistan. I still want to focus on what Biden is, how he's basically saying this was success. We airlifted more people out of harm's way. This is something only the United States of America could do. And I find myself thinking, or wanting to say back, the reason that we had to do this in the first place was because we caused the scenario to be in that particular position. You wouldn't have needed to airlift all these folks out of harm's way if we had managed this better. And yes, he still blames Trump in this speech. Biden has changed. Biden has changed Trump's policies on several things. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is, like the Remain in Mexico policy, catch and release, things pertaining to illegal immigration. He could change Trump's policies on those things, but apparently he just couldn't change Trump's timetables or his plan on Afghanistan. That one had to be carried out exactly as Trump had written it down. And that's just, it's like he's saying both things. If it was such a success, if I can spit it out there, such a success, why are we blaming Trump? Or put another way, if this was a massive success, as Biden is telling us it is, should we not be giving Trump the credit? I mean, this is so self-contradictory in a myriad of ways. It's hard to navigate ourselves to reality. If you try to make sense of this, you will find yourself very, very disillusioned and confused. But Biden thinks this is a massive success. That's what they want you to think. Afghanistan, successful. End of the 20-year war. Biden came in, says the buck stops here. We're going to end this war. And it's just as planned, just exactly as planned, down to the very minute. Again, as I said off the top, 11:59 is supposedly the last time that a PM on August 31st. So we met the deadline exactly to the minute. I mean, it is a remarkable. We should be thanking. In fact, we may start a campaign of thank you letters to send to President Biden for a masterful exit from Afghanistan. That's the way that this stuff is portrayed. That's the way he talks about it. That's what we're supposed to believe, and then just shut up and forget about it, because they don't want this coming back up. They want this brushed behind them, and they want to move on just as quickly as possible. Lots more tucked away in this speech. But again, Biden is still blaming Trump, at the same time taking credit for massive success. It just, again, makes no sense. But then again, what else that the Biden administration does actually makes a lick of sense? I mean, I'd have to really think and to see if there's even anything that comes to mind. Maybe I'll do that during the break. Maybe I won't. Maybe that'll just drive me mad. But, so plenty of more from this speech that I want to get to. Going to take a quick time out. When we get back, we'll pick this up. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Ward's Apparel, Edwards Equipment, and Indiana Wooded Paradise Retreat by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
You're busy. At Citizens Bank, we know your time is precious. That's why we're bringing a full-service branch to Stones Crossing for all your home, commercial, and personal banking needs. Looking to open an account, get assistance from your mortgage and commercial lenders, or just make all banking transactions right from your car? We can make it easy for you. Visit our new branch at 1767 West Stones Crossing Road. Citizens Bank. More bank for your buck.
Has it been a while since your last eye checkup? Has your eyesight changed? At Best Insight Eye Care, they keep an eye on your vision. Their doctors use the most advanced technology and eye care products available. At Best Insight, you will find professionals who genuinely care about you and are dedicated to providing exceptional service. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase. Schedule your appointment at the Southeast Side, Indianapolis, or New Palestine locations by visiting bestinsighteyecare.com or calling 317-782-4000 to get the best insight.
Let's face it, moving is stressful. That's why Jones Movers, a family-owned business for over 40 years, is here to help. Our team is ready to help and respond quickly to your questions. We can handle local and out-of-state moves, which means we can move your items to wherever your pin drops on the map. We also offer self-storage units for furniture and items you need a place for. Go to jonesmovers.com to get things moving today, or visit our Facebook page, Jones Movers.
Unhappy with your CPAP machine? Now you have an alternative. The docs at Indy Dental Sleep have an oral appliance that treats snoring and sleep apnea. They begin with an in-home sleep test that is diagnosed by a sleep physician before prescribing your appliance. And it's covered by most medical insurance plans. It's preferred 20-1 versus CPAP. Call 317-888-4036 and start getting the sleep you need. Or visit IndyDentalSleep.com.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Quality glass windows and doors add value to your home or commercial space. At White's Innovative Glass, our family-owned and operated company will work with you to ensure we understand your vision before we begin. And if you don't have a vision, we can help with that too. We proudly stand behind our work and look forward to your call. Right now, we're offering 15% off your next project. Visit our website at whitesinnovativeglass.com/Todd.
Welcome back, my friends. By the way, program brought to you by Thomas Monuments. ThomasMonument.com is the website. Located West Washington Street in Indianapolis. They can help you personalize your memorial and make that process as simple and easy as possible. Again, ThomasMonument.com. We have a whole list of our advertisers at supportouradvertisers.com and encourage you to go there if you're in the market for something. And if it's possible, all we ask is that you give our advertisers an opportunity to earn your business. They, of course, make this possible, this program possible, so that you can listen to it in the radio, on a podcast, however you consume it, even on social media. So again, supportouradvertisers.com is that website. But I want to get back to this Biden speech. So Biden is, again, has already told us how massively successful this was. This went exactly as planned, down to the minute. I'm kind of surprised in a sense, and this is sad. Again, I don't take any pleasure in this. I truly don't. But Biden brings up when he was at Dover, and the bodies of the Marines lost last week were transferred there. You know, that sad, solemn ceremony. But it's the one where Biden was checking his watch. And folks, he did check his watch. I mean, it is, you can see the video. He looks down at his watch, and some people are defending this. You know, this was how maybe it's a Apple Watch and he's getting communication. Well, why? I mean, aren't some things worth just being present? Aren't some things worth cutting out all distractions and focusing on being a leader and being there for the families and all of that sort of thing? He's literally checking his watch. So I am a bit surprised he brings this up, but he does. Here it is.
Members were wounded in the service of this mission. 13 heroes gave their lives. I was just at Dover Air Force Base for the dignified transfer. We owe them and their families a debt of gratitude we can never repay, but we should never, ever, ever forget. In April.
And that's true. That is true. We owe all the military who has done what this nation has asked them to do, we owe them gratitude, right? I mean, we do. We need to honor the fallen. In fact, we have holiday, Memorial Day, for example, where we remember those who gave their lives in defense of this great nation. Whatever that mission is called, what was determined to be by the powers that be at that particular moment in time, even if it's a mission that someone doesn't agree with or doesn't think we should be there. The job of the military personnel is to follow orders and to do what they're asked to do. And yes, there have been misjudgments and bad calculations and conflicts we shouldn't have been in the past and all that sort of thing. That has nothing to do with this. That has nothing to do with whether or not they should be honored and respected or not. I know there's some out there that don't agree with that, but they were doing what they were called to do in defense of, or what someone determined was in defense of, the United States, its freedoms, its people, its interests around the world. But the thing is, these individuals lost their lives directly because of decisions that were made. Look, again, there's no way around this. There is simply no way around this. The way that this was handled directly led to the loss of lives in Afghanistan for these 13 individuals, these 13 heroes who fought and did their jobs in Afghanistan. I'm a little bit surprised he brought this up because, again, it conjures up immediately when he mentions Dover. The first thing, and I'm not even trying to be critical, but just the first thing that pops into my head is Biden checking his watch. Anyway, I want to play timeout. I'm going to take a timeout because I don't want to get to this next part. But again, who is the one? Is Biden blaming Trump, or is Biden taking credit for a successful mission? Who's the one that really decided to end this war? If Biden was locked into following Trump's plan and it was an unmitigated disaster, as he appears to suggest at points during this speech, then shouldn't it be Trump's ending of the war? No. What Biden wants is to say, I didn't have any choice, but it was my choice to end the war. And if it went bad, it's because of what Trump did. This is how the left thinks. Because, look, there would be something refreshing, and I know this is never going to happen. And candidly, I don't even know that Trump would. I don't think Trump would have taken. Trump wouldn't have done these things. But if Trump made a massive mistake or error in judgment or whatever like this, I don't think he would have just come out and just said, "Hey, look, this was mismanaged, and I take responsibility for this." But there would be something refreshing about that. But they're not going to do that. And I'll tell you why. It's because we've got a campaign coming up in 2022, and the opposing side would use that video, that clip, in every single ad imaginable, saying here they are basically admitting that they don't have what it takes to lead this country. And I understand that would be damaging, but again, wouldn't it just be refreshing and honest to hear them say, you know what, we made some errors here. And some people are saying this is the sort of mess that they want. I know there's all different viewpoints on this, but again, Biden is wanting to blame. If you think it's bad, it's Trump's fault. If you think it's good, then Biden says, I'll take the credit. It's exactly the opposite of what a leader should do. A leader takes the blame and shares the credit. Biden is taking the credit and passing the blame. So, timeout's necessary. Come back and pick up here as Biden tries to tell us that we were ready for this. And by the way, we were only ready for this because he instructed his leaders, his military, the Joint Chiefs and those that were in the meetings. I want you to be ready for any and all potential, scenarios. Oh, okay. We hadn't thought about that until you mentioned that, President Biden. We just assumed that everything would go exactly to plan here. But since you mentioned it, we'll make sure that we think about scenarios that might pop up along the way. So anyway, this is just silly nonsense, but I'm going to play some of it just to give you a glimpse of what this speech was about yesterday in case you missed it, or in case you just want to think more about the sort of stuff that we're being fed here as Biden is telling us this was massively successful. Quick time out. Back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, Care to Change, and Interior Construction Services by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
How would you like to get a $1,000 bonus after just 3 months on the job? Sound good? If so, Wallace Construction is ready to hire you today. They're a family-owned business with 45 years experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. Call 317-422-5356 to find out more about this $1,000 bonus opportunity. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356. Be sure to tell them Todd sent you.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Corn Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corn Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Were you surprised by your tax return last year? Did you get a large refund? Or worse, did you have to pay more than you thought to the IRS? Or maybe you just got a new job, had a baby, or are going into retirement. Why wait for another tax surprise this year? Let Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group help you project your taxes for the year to save you the stress come tax time. 317-288-5260. Jody and his team will analyze your paychecks to see if you're withholding too much or too little and help make corrections to any W-4s. If you're the sole proprietor of a business, this is a great idea for you to prepare for your tax filing. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and their new location in Greenfield. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. And don't wait. The sooner you act, the more prepared you can be for any hidden tax surprises. That's 317-288-5260 or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with 0 body fillers, 0 painting, and 0 diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Welcome back, my friends. So, I'll tell you what. I got a message. I was thinking of an analogy, trying to earlier, as we were just right before the show, trying to think of an analogy to say, Biden created this scenario and then he pats himself on the back by bringing people out of Afghanistan through very, very volatile circumstances. And he applauds himself, even though he's responsible, at least in part. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not bad forces over there, but none of this happened until the past few weeks, right? None of this had happened. That's the other thing, by the way. I don't want to get off on this path here, but the choice Biden gave us throughout this speech was we either send tens of thousands of American troops back to Afghanistan and engage in a ground war, door-to-door fighting again, or we leave. And that's not the real choice. I mean, that's a false choice. I mean, were we conducting massive ground operations over there the first half of 2021? I mean, that's what Biden wants you to believe, that we're over there, rolling tanks in and, having trench warfare and all that sort of stuff, door to door, smoking out these terrorists as we had done. We have done that over there, but that's not the stage that this mission was in. Anyway, but I was trying to think of an analogy, and Tyler had just messaged me on Facebook. I think he said he read this somewhere or heard this somewhere else, but he said it's like someone creates a flood and then brags about how many boats he used and how many people he saved from the disaster. And that's pretty close to what's happened here. Biden applauding himself and patting himself on the back for doing something that wouldn't have been necessary if he'd done his job right the first time. It wouldn't have been nearly as dramatic. There's a lot better. There's no way that this was the other way out of there. This is just not living in reality, right? I mean, we hadn't heard Afghanistan in the news really in a long, long time. I mean, really, if you think about it, not like front page news. And I know we've got the media and who hide stuff, so I'm not suggesting that there was never anything to report. I'm just saying that it wasn't like it was 15 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever, when we were engaged in a different type of fighting over there. But anyway, who's the one that actually pulled us out of Afghanistan? I feel like Biden is really confused here. Is it Biden or is it Trump? Because, again, Biden wants you to believe, if you have negative feelings about what happened in Afghanistan, if you see it for what it is and you see that it's a dumpster fire and an unmitigated disaster, Biden wants you to believe that that's because he couldn't change Trump's plan. If you think that, hey, we got out of Afghanistan, that's a good thing, we ended a 20-year war, then Biden wants you to believe it was his decision to leave. I mean, it really is that simple. I'm going to play some of this and tell me if that's not correct.
Inside of us for 20 years, I had authorized 6,000 troops, American troops, to Kabul to help secure the airport. As General McKenzie said, this is the way the mission was designed.
Give me a break.
It was designed to operate under severe stress and attack, and that's what it did. Since March, we reached out 19 times to Americans in Afghanistan.
He's pointing at the camera.
With multiple warnings and offers to help them leave Afghanistan, all the way back as far as March. After we started the evacuation.
So I guess stupid Americans that didn't listen to Biden. It's your fault, Americans, I guess, is what Biden. What else is he saying here?
17 days ago, We did initial outreach and analysis and identified around 5,000 Americans who had decided earlier to stay in Afghanistan, but now wanted to leave. Our Operation Allied Rescue ended up getting more than 5,500 Americans out. We got out thousands of citizens and diplomats from those countries that went into Afghanistan with us to get bin Laden. We got out locally employed staff of the United States Embassy and their families, totaling roughly 2,500 people. We got thousands of Afghan translators and interpreters and others who supported the United States out as well.
And we don't know who else. That's the other thing. That's the other part of this, is we don't know who else, right? I mean, we're flying people here, which on the one hand, if these are folks that have been helping the United States, if these are folks whose lives are in jeopardy by being there, because, oh, by the way, we gave the Taliban a list of names of the people that we wanted to make sure got safe passage out of the country. I mean, if that's not like a death warrant, I don't know what is when you hand it to these lunatics. I mean, it's just the level of stupidity and the lack of just general street smarts here is, again, my dad has a term for some of these folks, overeducated idiots. And I feel like that's probably very, very accurate here when you think about some of these decision makers high up in the State Department, in the administration, folks that have been educated to the point. Again, I'm not bad-mouthing education, don't misunderstand me, but there's a point where there are some people who can have the sense educated, so to speak, educated out of them. And that's, I think, here's the people we need. Here's the list of the people that have been helping us. Can you just make sure brutal, murderous, maniacal, lunatic Taliban, can you make sure that these people get out safely? Here's their addresses too. This is the last place that we knew that they were. Are you kidding me? What is wrong with these idiots? I mean, this is beyond my abilities to understand here. If someone, assuming someone's trying to really manage this properly, just the whole thing's a mess. And don't tell me that it's not, and don't tell me that it's a massive success. Again, this has echoes of Benghazi to me, right? Spontaneous riots and so forth in the streets of Benghazi. It wasn't pre-planned and all this sort of stuff. They couldn't admit that because that would have meant that there were terrorist organizations planning attacks on the U.S. on 9/11, right? I mean, we can't have that. No, because Obama was president, and the things that they were saying back then was that Osama died and GM is alive, right? Terrorism was over, which Biden talked about that too. Biden said 2011 is when bin Laden was killed. That was apparently the end of our mission, the only thing we were trying to do, which, by the way, he wasn't even killed in Afghanistan. But that's just, again, for whatever that matters or doesn't matter, that should have ended the war. The Obama administration was calling the shots back then. Why didn't they pull us out May 3rd? That was the end of the war. We've stayed 10 years past that. I mean, none of this makes sense to me. And it shouldn't make sense to anybody, because right now what this is an unmitigated disaster that they just want to go away. They want to sweep it under the rug, and they want to change the narrative because this is just a messy, messy situation. Quick timeout. Back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Flooded basement? Failed sump pump? Water damage happens fast this time of year. For 38 years now, Hayes & Sons has been restoring water damage in Indiana homes and businesses. They'll help you navigate your insurance claim and get your life back on track. So when a water disaster strikes, tell your insurance agent you want Hayes & Sons for your restoration work. Visit hayesandsons.com/Todd for more information.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Are you looking for reliable advice on real estate investing? Then you should start listening to the Homeboys. Clint and Scott have over 40 years of real estate investing experience that they use to educate and guide their listeners. Listen and learn from their experiences to maximize your real estate investment strategy. You can find the Homeboys podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or watch them on YouTube. That's the Homeboys podcast. They can show you how to get started and reach your real estate investment goals.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Welcome back really quickly here. I played the wrong soundbite a second ago. Got my soundbites out of order. This is the one where Biden says it's his decision to end the war.
In April, I made a decision to end this war. As part of that decision, we set the date of August 31st for American troops to withdraw. The assumption was that more than 300,000 Afghan national security forces that we had trained over the past 2 decades and equipped would be a strong adversary in their civil wars with the Taliban. That assumption that the Afghan government would be able to hold on for a period of time beyond military drawdown turned out not to be accurate. But I still instructed our national security team to prepare for every eventuality, even that one.
Even
and that's
that
what
one.
we did.
Name that one specifically.
So we were ready when the Afghan security forces, after 2 decades of fighting for their country and losing thousands of their own, did not hold on as long as anyone expected. We were ready when they and the people of Afghanistan watched their own government collapse and their president flee amid the corruption and malfeasance. Handing over the country to
Who puts a word? Whoever wrote, you don't put malfeasance in a Joe Biden speech. That's not going to come out correctly. But there's Biden saying, I decided in April. But Trump's plan was apparently, mean, none of this makes sense. I decided to end the war in April, but Trump's plan to end the war was from at least January of 2021. If you think it's bad, Trump did it. If you think it's great, I'll accept the credit. What a pathetic thing to do. I got to take a break. Come back and wrap up. Back in just a minute.
Stay on top of the nonsense our colleges are subjecting students to today by listening to Todd's monthly interview series with Matt Lamb, assistant editor of The College Fix. Listen at toddhuffshow.com/college. Brought to you by Apprentice University. We understand how overwhelming it is for students to make life-altering decisions. We help you guide along the curvy pathway toward reaching your goals. You'll gain professional skills and learn to problem solve for your future career. Visit apprentice.university to learn more about this debt-free college, purposefully designed for your outstanding future.
Weddings, reunions, business, church, or family retreats, Indiana Paradise Retreat is a hidden gem located right here in central Indiana. With over 11,000 square feet, a theater, gym, sauna, hot tub, pool, stocked lakes, and even an on-site event hangar, we have just the place for your next event. Find us on Airbnb, VRBO, or just search for Indiana Paradise Retreat. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Are you looking to purchase waterproof flooring for your home? Did you know it's as easy as typing rnrproducts.com/Todd in your search engine for a great deal on our core tech line? Since 1971, R&R Products has provided brand name products at an affordable price to the listening area. Call 317-745-5794 or go online to rnrproducts.com/Todd. R&R Products. We make your flooring experience easy and affordable.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
If you're thinking of buying or selling a home, call my good friend Scott Veerkamp. Scott and his team have been helping people with their real estate needs since 1992, and he has sold literally thousands of homes for good families just like yours. For all your real estate needs, call Scott Veerkamp today at 317-979-4663. That's 979-HOME. Welcome back. So, again, it's remarkable. It really is. It's remarkable of how people want to believe that Biden, some people, not many, because, again, this is not very popular, what Biden's been, how he's been managing Afghanistan or other things for that matter, including now COVID, the economy, all sorts of things. But I mean, you hear people defending Biden and what happened in Afghanistan. It's like there's no, I don't know, desire or ability to see things for as they really are. I mean, this you can say fine, we've ended the war, but I would say this: if terrorism reemerges. And the situation is the same as when we left or when we went to Afghanistan 20 years ago. The battle's not over, my friends. I mean, you have to defeat the enemy. You just can't say we're done fighting and then it's over suddenly. So I don't know. I've got to go. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow. SDG. Take care.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.